Tonight's investigation begins with a difficult question. Are global conflicts always driven by clear evidence, or are they sometimes shaped by perception, fear, and political narratives? For decades, the world has heard a consistent warning that Iran is on the verge of developing nuclear weapons. But what if the reality is more complex? What if the evidence is not as definitive as it seems? And more importantly, what happens when nations act on assumptions rather than confirmed facts? This is not just a story about Iran, or Israel, or the United States. This is a story about power, perception, and the consequences of decisions that shape our world. At the center of today's geopolitical tension lies a striking contradiction. A country widely believed to possess nuclear weapons, taking military action against another country over concerns that it might develop such weapons in the future. This contradiction has sparked debate among analysts, diplomats, and global observers. For years, international discussions have focused on Iran's nuclear program. Concerns have been raised, reports have been published, and policies have been shaped around the idea of potential risk. But when international inspectors examined Iran's nuclear activities, their findings told a more nuanced story. According to multiple assessments, there has been no confirmed evidence of an active, structured nuclear weapons program. This distinction is critical, because in global security, the difference between capability and intent can determine the path between diplomacy and conflict. History offers a powerful lens through which to view the present. In the early 2000s, the world witnessed a major conflict driven by claims about weapons of mass destruction, claims that were later widely questioned. Today, some analysts draw parallels between past decisions and current tensions in the Middle East. They ask a simple but profound question: have we learned from history, or are we repeating it? Another key issue lies in how narratives evolve over time. Initially, concerns may focus on nuclear development. Then the conversation expands to missile programs, regional influence, or internal policies. Each concern may be valid in its own context, but when combined, they can create a shifting framework where the objective becomes harder to define. And when objectives are unclear, solutions become even more difficult to achieve. To understand the situation fully, it is essential to consider perspective. Every nation operates within its own security environment. For Iran, that environment includes decades of geopolitical pressure, regional conflicts, and historical events that have shaped its policies. From their perspective, technological advancement, including nuclear capability, may be viewed as a form of deterrence, not necessarily as a step toward weaponization, but as a signal of strength. This perspective does not justify actions, but it helps explain motivations. And in diplomacy, understanding motivation is often the first step toward resolution. Another important dimension is the global nuclear framework itself. The international system was built on a principle that a small number of countries would maintain nuclear weapons temporarily, while others would agree not to develop them. In return, there would be a gradual move toward disarmament. However, over time, this balance has been challenged. Some countries maintain large nuclear arsenals, while others remain restricted. This imbalance raises difficult questions. Is the system still fair? Is it sustainable? And most importantly, does it encourage stability or insecurity? Because in a world where security is uncertain, nations may begin to draw their own conclusions. If possessing nuclear weapons appears to prevent external threats, then the incentive to develop them increases. This creates a dangerous cycle, one where fear drives policy and policy increases fear. The situation becomes even more complex when regional dynamics are considered. Tensions do not exist in isolation. Actions by one country often trigger reactions from others. Escalation becomes a chain reaction, and in such an environment, even limited conflicts can expand rapidly. This is why many experts emphasize the importance of diplomacy, not as a sign of weakness, but as a tool for stability. Negotiations, when conducted with mutual respect, have historically produced results. Agreements can limit nuclear activity, increase transparency, and reduce the risk of misunderstanding. But trust is essential, and trust is fragile. When agreements are broken, or commitments are withdrawn, the foundation of cooperation weakens. Rebuilding that trust can take years. At the human level, the consequences of conflict are always the same. Civilians bear the cost. Families are displaced. Lives are disrupted. And future generations inherit uncertainty. This reality reminds us that beyond strategy and policy, there are real people affected by every decision. So, where does this leave us today? The truth is not always simple. There are legitimate concerns, valid security interests, and deeply rooted historical tensions. But there is also a need for clarity, a need to separate verified facts from assumptions, and a need to approach global challenges with careful judgment. As we reflect on the current state of global tensions, one question remains at the center of it all. Is the world moving toward greater security or deeper uncertainty? The answer depends not only on governments, but on how information is understood, questioned, and shared. Because in an age of constant information, truth is not just discovered, it is examined. If you found this investigation insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps bring balanced, thoughtful discussions to a wider audience. What do you think? Are global conflicts driven more by evidence or by perception? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Stay aware, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next investigation.